Hello beautiful people disseminated throughout the universe. Today I wanted to render the top 5 problems about Star Wars Battlefront transparent. Of course this listing is subjective, therefore if your gripes pertaining to this game are disparate from mine, then please feel free to convey them via the comment section beneath this video. Without further ado, without further procrastination, let's allow the monologue to commence. First, just like the myriad of other video games published by EA, Star Wars Battlefront is purely new have an abysmal netcode. Unfortunately, this perpetual calamity will result in players experiencing connectivity issues and impede their ability to be able to play the game online lag-free without experiencing severe connectivity issues. Second, Star Wars Battlefront will have significantly less maps and less playable heroes included in the game, in contrast to the other Star Wars Battlefront video games that were released onto home consoles at least a decade or more ago, despite the fact that the Star Wars Battlefront reboot is being sold at a hefty retail price of at least $60, which is a significantly higher retail price than the former Star Wars Battlefront video games that were released onto home consoles at least half a decade ago. Third, buying Star Wars Battlefront at its hefty retail price of at least $60 will not grant you access to the full game, since you need to lay out for more money than $65 to download all the content for the game. What happened in the era when you could buy a video game such as a Nintendo 64 game and receive all the game's content on the ROM amid buying it? Buying Star Wars Battlefront at a premium price of $65 means not being able to access all the game's contents. Fourth, despite the fact that Star Wars Battlefront will be released on the 8th generation consoles more than half a decade post the launch of MAG for the PS3, Star Wars Battlefront will have an online player capacity of up to 40 players per match on the consoles, which is less than 1/5 of MAG's online player capacity of up to 256 players per match. Fifth, Star Wars Battlefront will likely omit to include a campaign mode within the game, will likely omit to include playable space battles within the game, and will likely not enable you to play as factions from the prequel trilogies, unlike Star Wars Battlefront 2 that was released over a decade ago, which offered more playable factions, a single-player campaign mode, playable space battles, and arguably for more content than the Star Wars Battlefront reboot, all for a lower retail price. So essentially, it seems as though Star Wars Battlefront is a diluted version of Star Wars Battlefront 2. They neglected to import a copious amount of content from Star Wars Battlefront 2 into the Star Wars Battlefront reboot. This is just abysmal in my opinion. They should have been able to increase the online player capacity. MAG was released over half a decade ago, and you were able to play the game online with up to a maximum of 256 players. However, when you play Star Wars Battlefront, you can only play the game with a maximum of up to 40 players. So when you engross yourself in the battle, you may only see 39 other players if you play the game from a first-person perspective, whereas in MAG you would see up to 255 players if you opted to play the game from a first-person perspective, if that option was available. I believe it was, but you could verify that for yourself. Moving on, it's just a real shame that there's all these paywalls behind the content. The content is being omitted from the game, and it's going to the pay to utilize content. It's just a real shame and a real pity that your dollars did not even gain you access to all the game's content amid buying it. I just can't get over this dreadful problem. It's just unbearable. I'm just contemplating if there's anything else I should notify you of that I neglected to mention thus far. The graphics may be rendered in native 1080p. They may be refined. The game may look more spiffy. However, that does not connote with the game having merit. That does not connote with the game having substance. That does not connote with the game warranting a $65 retail price. Therefore, I'll wait for the game to plunge to a discounted price of $10 or less before I contemplate about purchasing the game. Once the price plummets to $10 or less, then I'll likely opt to purchase the game. It's just not worth the investment above that threshold of $10. Of course, your sentiments about the intrinsic value of the game may be disparate from mine, so you may feel as though the game is well worth every penny it commands amid the advent of its retail launch. So that's pretty much everything I want to notify you of. I doubt EA will institute any remedies to resolve all the aforementioned problems. They'll likely persist. They'll likely plague the game forever, and we'll just have to either opt to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 or wait for the price of this game to plunge in order to get value out of the game at the price we pay for the game. If you're going to relinquish your finite monetary assets, then make sure that the item you're going to procure warrants the price. This item certainly does not warrant even a $30 retail price, nor does it warrant a $20 retail price. Is this game egregious? Is it appalling? Is it abysmal? Is it wretched? I think it's a mediocre video game that is not worth a penny more than $10. Also bear in mind that you'll need to procure an Xbox Live subscription or a PlayStation Plus subscription in order to be able to play the game. So this game is quite expensive to play online, at least on the 8th generation home consoles. In other words, if you want to play the game online, you're going to have to lay out far more money than just $60, considering you need to renew your Xbox Live Gold membership or PlayStation Plus subscription annually or monthly to be able to utilize those online services. So the prospect of having to purchase a PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold membership subscription further deters me from wanting to play this game, considering this game is primarily an online game. So I'm going to abstain from buying it. I've made my decision. Maybe in half a decade from now, I'll consider buying it for less than $10. And if it commands a higher retail price in the second-hand market, then so be it. I'll forgo the opportunity to buy the game unless it drops to $10 or less. That's my opinion. That's my feedback about the game's contents. And that's pretty much everything I want to divulge for this video about the game. I'm done ranting. I'm done raving. I'm done pontificating. I'm curious about your thoughts pertaining to this game. Do you believe that this game should be purchased? Or would you prefer to indulge in playing Star Wars Battlefront 2? Do you think that this game will have more substance than the original Star Wars Battlefront? Or do you think that it will just be atrocious in all facets? What do you think? What are your opinions? What are your gripes? How could the game be rectified to be enhanced beyond what I've mentioned thus far. So you could address those inquiries, or you could neglect to address them. It's up to you. Hope you found this video to be stupendous and enthralling. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.